guys, welcome back to Linda's Pantry. So today I'm going to bring you along for another easy weeknight meal that's going to be brought to you by the Extended Pantry. And I'm going to add this to my playlist I've started for you of what you can do with things that you've home canned in your pantry to be creative and delicious and just like everyday meals that you would normally have. It doesn't have to be rice and beans. But rice and beans are good if you do them right. We're gonna have tacos tonight, and this is with my home canned grass-fed ground beef that I got from Zaycon Foods last year. Let's see, it's 4/14 is the date that I canned it. And so we're coming up on a year in a couple months here, and we're gonna have tacos tonight with that. And this is a dry can method, so everybody asked me for reviews on that. I'm also going to pick out a couple other things out of the pantry that I'll be using in tonight's dinner, and we're going to have tacos for the next few days. It'll be delicious, healthy, and I know where it came from, and I got a great deal on this meat. I priced grass-fed ground beef today when I was at the grocery store. It was $8.99 a pound. I paid $3.49 a pound for this. So, bargain. All right, guys, let's go see how I make this beautiful dinner, and it's gonna be delicious and kind of light. We've been eating a lot. So guys, I'm glad you stayed. This is gonna be good. Got my hair up, slippers on, we're ready to cook dinner. I'm gonna use a few things out of the pantry tonight, and one of them is a Tex-Mex that I make, and this is out of the garden. It's got tomatoes, peppers, onions, all that stuff. It's delicious, and it makes the best easy Spanish-inspired rice. I'm not going to say it's authentic, and I'm going to use part of this because the other part of it is going to go into a soup that I have later on. I've got my ground beef. We already talked about that. I've got my black beans that I can up. Black beans are great to have in the pantry. And I've got some home canned chicken stock. Now, I've already used part of this, but actually this is the turkey stock. I apologize. This is fantastic. It is so good, and we're going to use that in our rice to cook down, and I've got some basmati rice. So that being said, we're going to go ahead and measure out some rice because I like to rinse my rice, and you can use any long grain, short grain, medium grain rice you like. I don't want a bunch of leftover rice, so I'm only going to do about 1.5 cups, and I'm good to go on that. So I'm going to rinse that off really well. Rinsed my rice off to get a lot of the excess starch. Remember, that's 1.5 cups of rice. I'm still going to need this strainer for my black beans because we're going to rinse these. So I'll put this over here, and we'll measure out. You're going to guesstimate. You're going to need roughly 3 cups of liquid. And so what I'm going to do is open up my Tex-Mex blend. A friend of mine gave me this recipe years ago, and I always open it. Had a great seal. Smell it. It smells fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and put 2 cups of this, which is half my mixture. And you could mix this up because what's left in here is celery and peppers and a little bit of tomato, but I really wanted the tomato flavor. So I'm going to put the lid back on to put this back in the refrigerator, and then we're going to do 1 cup of chicken stock to finish off this rice. Now, I will watch the rice because if there's not enough liquid in here, then we're going to go ahead and add a little bit more chicken stock. But we're going to bring this to a boil, turn it down to low, put the lid on, and let it rip for 20 minutes. Easy. I mean, our dinner's going to go together in a half hour, so it could be even 20 minutes. I've got everything prepped up. I have a big pasilla pepper here that's a mild pepper. These are really mild. So delicious. 1/2 of a sweet onion, and I'm using a sweet onion. I'm going to cut my cilantro up right beforehand. I have some salsa that we're going to use, and of course my ground beef. So let's get over to the stove and I'll show you how we do it. Oh, and don't forget garlic. Oh my gosh. So what we're going to start with is our ground beef. And you can see there's a little bit of fat in there, but not much. And this was a dry canning process. If you didn't see that video, I'll go ahead and post that in the description box below. It's a process of, instead of putting it in raw, which would make a meatloaf gross, you're putting it in after you've cooked it and you browned it off completely, and then you dry can it. You don't add water like you do raw meat. And there are recipes, and I've done this, where you boil the ground beef first and then add water to it in the jar. That one comes out extremely soft, but it makes a pretty mean sloppy joe, so don't give up on it. It tastes good. So we're going to go ahead and open this. I don't know if you guys can see that. Probably not very good. Okay, you can hear that seal. Good seal. So we're going to go ahead, give it a sniff test. Look at it. Looks great. And now we're going to go ahead, our pan, I've got a little bit of olive oil. We're going to go ahead and brown this off again. But it's just really warming through. We don't need it crispy. We just want taco meat, right? And it starts out to be about 2 pounds of meat. So once you cook it, though, as you know, even when you're cooking from fresh meat, you don't end up with 2 pounds of meat. But I definitely have a good 1.5 pounds. So it's going to be a fair amount of taco meat. So we've got that set aside. We're going to go ahead and add our black beans. Now, I'm adding a pint of black beans. This is going to stretch my meal, add good, healthy protein and texture into my tacos. So I love to do this. You guys, you can add pinto beans. I need to can some pinto beans, so if anybody's interested in coming along for a pinto bean canning session, let me know. And these were my spiced black beans, spicy black beans. I do rinse them because they get that starchy fluid around them. I don't like it. I go ahead and rinse them. They're not as spicy as if you didn't rinse them, but they do honestly absorb some of the pepper flavor. And now we're going to grab, probably not as spicy as you would think. Let me put it that way. We're grabbing 3 cloves of garlic, and I've got a rough chop down on those poblano peppers that I got on sale. Fantastic. And that was only 1 pepper. I'm going to save some of it for garnish. I've got half of a sweet onion, and I'm going to save some of that for a little bit of garnish or fresh crispiness. Go ahead and turn my burner up. And look at what a hearty dinner already. We're going to throw this in some tortillas with some cheese and some cilantro, maybe a little fresh shredded lettuce, some salsa, and you have dinner. How easy is that? Now, we don't have any taco spice in here, so we've got our taco seasoning from Wild Tree, and I've got a 1/4 cup of that. And I also have, because I love the spice of this, Wild Tree's fajita seasoning. I'm going to go ahead and put 1/8 cup of that in there. It really brings it to a nice level. And if you're not familiar with Wild Tree, all their products are all natural, no preservatives ever in any of their stuff. And most of them are organic, or as organic as they can be. So we're just going to get this sauteing a little bit, brown off this, get this meat heated through, just like you would for tacos. Now, I ask you, does this look any different than taco meat you start out from fresh ground beef? Nope, it doesn't look any different, and it doesn't taste any different at the end. So I hope that it inspires you to go ahead and dry can some ground beef. It's my preferred method, and like I said, and actually my old ball canning book, and I'd never seen it before until just the other day, has the application on how to do this. So this dry canning method's been around a long time. A lot of people are against it, but I think most people are against anything they're not sure. All right, so here's my finished product. This is my husband's plate, and you guys, a couple of you have asked why I take bites off of his plate. I'm not going to bite into his tacos tonight, but I am going to take a little bite of the rice. This is, a pretty easy little Spanish-inspired rice. Whether it's authentic or not, maybe not, but it's certainly delicious. So good. I don't think authentic Spanish rice is overly spicy or overly tomatoey or any of that. And this is perfect. Yum. Okay. I did make myself a little taco on a artisan tortilla, whole wheat tortilla. And so I'll have a bite of that one for you. How's that? Let me get a paper towel. All right, we're going to take a bite. Oh my goodness. That was so good. Perfect amount of spice. The beans add a little extra texture, and all the other things that we've got in this is just absolutely fabulous. One more bite. Wow. So I truly hope it inspires you. Utilize the things you've got put back in your pantry, because I just created a beautiful meal in less than 30 minutes on the fly. Open it, heat it, you're done. And the thing that took the longest was the rice. And so if it inspires you to see more of these kind of meals, go ahead and leave a comment in the description or comment section below. Check out everything I've left for you as far as links go. And if you like this, I hope you give me a thumbs up. If you really like it, go ahead and post this on your Facebook page. All right, guys, can't wait to see you next time. Bye.